compare fractions. Use benchmarks. Lesson 5. Topic 13. In today's lesson, we will take three main ideas. The first one is how to use benchmarks to compare fractions. Now, what is benchmarks? In math, the benchmarks are numbers or fractions that is commonly used to measure against when measuring or comparing other fractions. Let's say I want to compare 1 over 3 and 5 over 6 to know which fraction of them is smaller. I will draw my benchmark here that it has 0, 1 over 2 or half, and 1 as a benchmark numbers. And I will also draw strips for the two fractions that I want to compare. I can see that 1 over 3 is less than half and closer to 0 more than 1. But 5 over 6 is greater than half and closer to 1 more than 0. So 1 over 3 is clearly smaller than 5 over 6. Open page 699. In 4 to 6, choose from the fractions 1 over 8, 1 over 4, 6 over 8, and 3 over 4. Use fraction strips to help. Question 4. Which fractions are closer to 0 than 1? Question 5. Which fractions are closer to 1 than 0? First, I will draw my benchmark. Then, I will draw my fractions one by one to compare. Is 1 over 8 closer to 0 or closer to 1 more? Excellent. It's closer to 0 more than 1. Is 1 over 4 closer to 0 or closer to 1 more? Yes, it's closer to 0 more than 1. Is 6 over 8 closer to 0 or closer to 1? Less than 6 over 8. In 7 and 8, choose from the fractions 2 over 3, 7 over 8, 1 over 4, and 2 over 6. Question 7. Which fractions are closer to 1 than 0? Question 8. Which fractions are closer to 0 than 1? I will draw the fractions strips for each fraction to find out. Is 2 over 3 closer to 0 or closer to 1 more? You have 5 seconds. Two over 3 is more than half and it's closer to 1 more. Excellent. Is 7 over 8 closer to 0 or closer to 1 more? You have 3 seconds. Very good. It's closer to 1 more. Is 1 over 4 closer to 0 or closer to 1 more? Yes, it's closer to 0 more. Is 2 over 6 closer to 0 or closer to 1 more? Very good, it's closer to 0 more. Now, the second idea for today's lesson is to know how to compare two fractions with the same denominator. For example, if I have 3 over 4 and 1 over 4, the two fractions have the same denominator, which is 4. And as a rule, if I have two fractions with the same denominator, the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction. So 3 over 4 is greater than 1 over 4 because 3 is greater than 1. The third and the last idea for today's lesson, we already talked before. If I have two fractions with the same numerator, the fraction with the smaller denominator is the greater fraction. For example, if I have 1 over 3 and 1 over 6, 1 over 3 is the greater fraction because 3 is the smaller denominator. It's very important to remember these two rules because we will need it. In 9 to 14, compare. Write less than, greater than, or equal. Question 9. Is 5 over 8 less or greater than 7 over 8? The two fractions have the same denominator. So, the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction. 7 over 8 is greater. So, 5 over 8 is less than 7 over 8. Question 10. Is 5 over 8 less or greater than 2 over 8? Can you tell? Yes, 5 over 8 is greater than 2 over 8 because 5 is greater than 2. Question 11. Is 3 over 4 less or greater than 3 over 8? 3 over 6? As you know that if we have two fractions with the same numerator, the greater fraction will be the fraction with the smaller denominator. Which of these two fractions have the smaller denominator? Yes, 3 over 4. So 3 over 4 is greater than 3 over 6. Try to solve the rest by yourself and check your answer. Question 12. Is 4 over 6 less or greater than 4 over 8? 4 over 6 is greater because 6 is smaller than 8. Question 13. Is 2 over 6 less or greater than 2 over 4? 2 over 6 is less than 2 over 4. Very good. Question 14. Is 2 over 3 less or greater than 1 over 3? Yes, excellent. 2 over 3 is greater than 1 over 3. Now open page 700. Question 20. Nika has 90 pencils. 40 of them are yellow, 13 are green, 18 are red, and the rest are blue. How many blue pencils does Nika have? The first step, I will add the yellow, green, and red pencils together. So 40 plus 13 plus 18 equals 71. The second step, I will count how many pencils left from the 90 pencils. So 90 minus 71. 0 minus 1, it couldn't be because 0 is smaller than 1. We will take 1 from the 9, it will be 8, and the 0 will be 10. 10 minus 1 equal 9, and 8 minus 7 equal 1. The answer is 19 blue pencils. We finished our lesson for today. Thank you for listening. Bye.